Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ground and Pound Podcast Best Bets video for UFC Vancouver. Dorita taking on Aaran in the main event. And as always, we have to talk money lines, we have to talk props, we have to talk parlays. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we're going to bang this one out regardless. And kicking things off, as always, we have the slam of the week, my most confident play on the board, the one that I put the most money on here. And for kicking things off, we have Dorita in the first leg, and I think he gets it done here in the main event. He's got an unorthodox fighting style, but Brandon Allen is very inconsistent. Shows some real low fight IQ mistakes in there at times. He'll pull guard when he doesn't need to, when he's having success in the striking. When he's having success on the ground, he decides to stand back up. I don't trust Brandon Allen, and Dorita at this point has proven that he's been on an ascendancy here at middleweight. I think he gets it done here for the first leg of our slam of the week. And for the second leg, we have Manon Fiorot and Jasmine Jasudavicius over 1.5 rounds. I think this one probably goes all the way to the judges' scorecards either way, no matter which woman wins here. I think it gets over this 1.5 mark here. And for the third leg, we have the Crimson Chin himself, Drew Dober here. He's a big favorite for a reason against Kyle Propolek. Kyle Propolek, to me, just isn't UFC level. Drew Dober should absolutely wipe the floor with him in the striking, walking him down, using his heavy punches, his heavy boxing combinations, his heavy forward pressure should be enough here to round out our slam of the week third leg. This one getting us to plus money at plus 102. I like this one here. We were able to cash last week. We've been on a little bit of a tear here for the slam of the week, along with the chalk parlay, looking to make it. I believe it's now 3 of our last 4, and I like this one to get it done. I think all of these legs I feel very confident in. And as I mentioned, the chalk parlay, some of the heavier favorites on this card parlay together to give you even money. And we have Manon Fiorot as the first leg here of our chalk parlay. I think the French woman gets it done here, and she bounces back after our title defeat to Valentina Shevchenko. I think she gets it done against Jasmine. I think that she's got a good style to go against Jasmine here. Jasmine obviously wants to get fights to the ground. She's a heavy wrestler. I think her kickboxing is going to be all that it takes on the feet. She's going to be much better in the striking, and she does a good job of keeping fights for the most part on the feet. She's a very strong, physically dominant woman in terms of her strength. I think she keeps it on the feet and wins with the striking. Pretty much a 29-28 or 30-27 decision here for Manon Fiorot. And for the second leg, we're going to trust in Danny Barlow to bounce back here against Santos. We've seen with Danny Barlow that he has a good athletic striking base. The guy is very fast twitch athlete. He did get knocked out against Sam Patterson. I'm going to put that down to an anomaly here and really just trust in him that he's the much faster athlete on the feet. And we've seen with Santos that he is very, very hittable. He does like to take one to give one. And I think with Danny's ability to on the feet, just to be able to beat him to the punch and be the faster, heavier hitter, I think that's going to be all that it takes to maybe put Santos out in this one. Rounding out here at minus 104, roughly around even money for our chalk parlay. I like this one as well this week. And for our first money line play, we have the Canadian Melissa Croden to get this one done. The hometown kid taking on Tanara Lisboa. Tanara Lisboa looked absolutely god-awful in her last fight. Getting older as well. She looks it coming off of that knee surgery of a cartilage issue that she had in her knee. And I think that Croden comes in here and absolutely mops the floor with her. If she wants to take her to the ground, I think that would be definitely a path of victory for her. In the striking, both women very credentialed in Muay Thai. Give the slight edge to Lisboa, but she looks like she's over the hill. She looks like she's slowing down at this point. And Croden, coming into the UFC, she's going to be young. She's going to be hungry. And also fighting in front of her home crowd here in Vancouver. I think that she can get this one done. Even at minus 120 here, I believe she was the underdog. She was going to be the dog of the week originally. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get that video out on time. But I think Melissa Croden here, there's still meat on the bone at minus 120. I like her to get it done this week. And next up, we have Bruno Silva with the, we're going to take him here on the spread with the plus 3.5 round line. I like Silva to get this one done, at least to be able to win at least one round. I could see Park being able to pull this one off, maybe like a split decision. I think this fight's much closer than what the odds suggest. Bruno Silva, I believe he's sitting at plus 200 on the money line, maybe a little bit more than that. So all we need him to do here with the plus 3.5 is to win one round. And I think that Park's not necessarily proven that he's on the level of Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva losing to high-level guys in the division like Joshua Van, Manel Kopp. These are the top-level top three guys in the division. Whereas Parks, beating guys like Carlos Hernandez, he's, not even in the rankings. So just because he lost to Tatsuro Taira or got a short notice step up against Tatsuro Taira and he got mopped and dropped in the second round and submitted, doesn't mean that he's on the level of Bruno Silva. So I think this line's far too wide. I think the spread is the way to go here. I do think that Silva probably loses. 35 years old. He's not necessarily one that I trust, especially in the smaller weight classes. However, I do think that he can win one round. He's good at scrambling. He's good on the feet. I like him really just to make this a competitive fight here, about getting it around plus 100 here at 3.5 on the spread for Bruno Silva. And for our last money line play here, we've got Charles Jourdain taking on Davy Grant. And I like Davy Grant, man. He's on an absolute ascendancy here. The Englishman, 39 years old. You don't normally see it at the smaller weight classes with the older guys. But Davy Grant's shown that he can sprawl and brawl. He's still got some gas left in the tank. And Charles Jourdain is inconsistent, let's be honest. The guy who will pull off a submission victory here and there. But then also will, get beaten up and lose on the feet. And Davy Grant, great kickboxer, does a good job of ending combinations with kicks. I think both guys are very, very good on the feet. Both guys can show that their level's on the ground, but Davy Grant here is on an ascendancy against a tougher level of competition. Damon Blackshear getting that victory in his last fight. I think a lot of people were surprised by that he was able to defend the takedowns and win rounds 2 and 3. The guy's got good cardio as well. And I think that we're getting him at some value here against the Canadian. Don't get me wrong, he might get screwed on the judges' scorecards, but I like Davy Grant here to get this one done, sitting at plus 140 this week as an underdog. Almost made him the dog of the week, but that 39-year-old price tag just has me a little bit concerned. But I like him here as a little sprinkle on the money line. And as always, we have to talk about the dog of the week. If you haven't seen it already, this is my favorite betting underdog on this entire UFC Vancouver card. Full highlight reel tape this week for Kyle the Monster Nelson. Looking to make it 3 of our last 4 here for the dog of the week. I'll leave a link in the description for that. And also, obviously, at the end of the video, we'll link that for you guys to check out. Full highlight reel tape along with the keys to victory here for Kyle Nelson over Matt Steamroller Favola this week. And that rounds out our best bets video, and I have to let you know what's on the channel. As I mentioned, the dog of the week, Kyle the Monster Nelson. Check that video out. Full highlight reel tape along with the keys to victory, along with a full card breakdown for UFC Vancouver. Dorita taking on Aaran in the main event. And as always, if you're enjoying the content here, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.